Hello! In the previous sessions, we noted how ability and aptitude are important, although they are not sufficient as a predictor of success in learning. We also saw how important self-regulation is for goal setting and maintaining motivation. In this session, we focus on another key aspect of learning to learn better: training ourselves through meaningful and effective practice. Let's ask Rangakrishna about some of the science behind this.
Neuroscience shows us the brain changes with training. The brain is made up of neurons that are connected to each other by fibers. These fibers get insulated by a sheath called myelin when they are mature. Using imaging, we can see the tracks maturing. In a remarkable study of musicians, researchers showed that the thickening of the sheath was related to how much the musicians practiced. This change is more evident in young people. It is remarkable and compelling evidence of the power of practice.
The primary learning principle is this: simple repetition of the same action or material makes us remember the action better with less time or effort expended on that process. It becomes more automatic and less conscious. Anders Ericsson popularized the concept that practice is the main ingredient for success, not talent. Many studies have looked at highly successful people, show the genuine development of success is the consequence of practice and repetition. There is no shortcuts. Success is based on pushing yourself to do better and better. Innate ability only gets you so far. Beyond that is hard work. Almost everyone who has achieved greatness in their field work hard above and beyond others. Many people believe that you need at least 10,000 hours of practice to become truly great. In his book Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell talks about the lives of many successful people and how at least part of their success was due to large amounts of practice. 10,000 hours being the golden number. So, what are the best ways to practice? Bob Kamei tells us it is not just simple repetition, but planned, thoughtful, and deliberate practice that counts.
We all know that to really learn things well, we have to go over it many, many times. The key point here is that not all practice works equally well, so don't waste your time. To get the most out of your practice, let me share with you now 2 suggestions. First, since we naturally tend to work on what we're already good at because it makes us feel good and more self-confident, instead do what gives you the most trouble. And second, it's best to get immediate feedback on how well you're performing and then use it to improve your performance. Finally, there are other ways to make your repetition work harder for you and your brain, but we'll discuss those during the next session. When we just repeat without a plan, we hit a point where there's no more improvement. We reach a plateau. It's quite hard to overcome this plateau, and to do so requires a change in approach. Just doing the same thing again and again is a waste of time.
What's needed is thoughtful, planned practice designed to improve performance. It is not practice of what you already know, but what you don't know that makes you progress. In other words, the focus is not just repetition, but on practicing on the piece which is not perfect. Focus on what you need to improve while still continuing to practice what you're good at.
The goal of deliberate practice is relentless skill enhancement, not just skill conservation. One has to not only allocate as many hours as possible, but also make the best use of the number of hours dedicated to that activity. For practice to be most effective, one should identify those tasks that are most likely to lead to the desired results.
The power of focused, planned, and thoughtful practice has been demonstrated in many spheres, including communication, performing arts, science, and writing. The accumulation of planned and deliberate practice over time builds the skills, knowledge, and features that can lead to improved performance. In turn, it can also build a skill set that can enhance the type of training that supports continued growth and maximum performance. This kind of planned, deliberate practice is not inherently fun or enjoyable, and therefore, unless it's engaged in as a means to improve yourself or in working towards a very clear goal, there can be a rapid decrease in interest and motivation. But most individuals who have succeeded in life look at it. Be it athletes like Cristiano Ronaldo or Joseph Schooling, technopreneurs like Bill Gates, musicians, scientists, and scholars like Remy Chu, they all practice repeatedly until they reach their goals. And they continue their practice to reach even higher goals. Deliberate practice is important for basic development of skills and expertise, but its true worth comes in preparing for the unexpected. Practice will make you ready for those rare events that require you to use what you have learned, even when you encounter an issue for the first time. So, when you are learning, spend more time on what you have difficulty with and less time on what you know well. One way to do this is to list down the subjects and topics that you are least confident about and allocate more time to those subjects. When you are confident, you reduce your time on those subjects and move to others. Nothing beats hard work when it's deliberate. Remember, practicing and memorizing over and over without a plan is not enough to improve your learning. As American sportsman Vince Lombardi said, practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Thus, learning how to learn to program your brain is essential for better, more efficient, and effective learning. We'll be exploring more about this in our next session when we'll consider ways of learning to learn better through effective repetition. So, I hope you'll join us next time. See you.